Hi, Cashify. Well, there is something good about the child, metaphorically. I agree with this, keeping a part of a child. But the reason I'm calling these urges childish is because childhood is a process of learning. That's what you're invoking when you say we should retain some of the child and open-mindedness, an attitude that we don't know and we should be open. But childhood is also actually doing that learning, right? I mean, a child of 10 has thousands of conclusions that she will draw compared to what she would have drawn as an infant. Is all of that knowledge a compromise on her childhood? No, it's a part of her childhood, And the maturity comes from you have to make these statements that are then going to be questioned. If we're all children questioning everything, who is it that's making the statements that get to be questioned? Who is making a commitment? Okay. And what I don't like is that you were rejecting knowledge. You're rejecting learning, therefore. And therefore, to me, you were rejecting an element of the child. Now, granted, things need to be questioned. Fine, sometimes they might say, we can't get any more oil, and people need to question that. Figure out another way to get oil. Use that example. But you are not accepting those answers, right? You're saying that there is no real answer, that it's all really illusion. I talked about somebody building a bridge. You talked about his creative expression. But I'm talking about getting across the bridge. I'm talking about the fact that you want to judge the knowledge based on the ability to clear your mind, to cleanse your mind. I actually believe an engineer that could build a bridge, that then cleared their mind of their knowledge of how to build a bridge, would be left with a psyche that knew how to build a bridge still, and it somehow might get some higher understanding. But when you make a similarity that it's the fact that this person, not that they know how to build a bridge, but that they've forgotten how, that this puts them in touch with some sort of absolute, then you're saying that bridge builder's knowledge is a negative thing compared to the child they should be, where they have no knowledge. And you're not respecting the knowledge if you do that, according to me. So to me, the demonstration of the knowledge of this guy's ability to build a bridge happens in the tangible experience of walking across that bridge. That's what tells you about that knowledge, that physical experience. And you're rejecting all of that. And I just think that if we all were to be childlike, that would mean we'd have to be open to new answers. It doesn't mean we're rejecting all answers. That's sort of too assertive to want to stay a child. And if you're really going to be a child for your whole life, a child for 100 years, something I'd like to achieve, a 100-year-long life, always with an element of being a child, you are going to be accruing ideas, as children do. Okay, and yeah, you'll want to question those, but what about when you question them and they stand up to your questioning? What about when you question the guy that knows how to build a bridge, or your own knowledge of that, but you continually answer it with successfully built bridges? You're not supposed to take any comfort or knowledge from that ability. I see that as a negative side of endorsing childhood. Okay, to say that we don't arrive at any beliefs or convictions. I don't believe we have certain beliefs. I don't believe we have certainty about our beliefs. But we do have beliefs, and we do come to them, and we place our bets on the table. And the fact that we are possibly going to be shown wrong, or even if we know there's some unknown aspect of our idea that is wrong, even so, we take that risk, and we put our assertions up there so that they can be questioned by others, so that the children can come along and question them. And doing that is part of the responsibility. It's sort of the easy part to try to tear down things. It's harder to build things, and it's the job of a maturing soul to build things and express their will in the real world, in the material world, in a real way, in a domain where we can define knowledge in terms of the perceptions that we get, of this world, whatever the world is. We're getting perceptions of it. And so that's what I mean by childish in a negative way, is that you want to just question everything, or that's how your philosophy is coming across it. You just want to question everything, answer the questions that there is no knowledge, no real distinctions, nothing real, and you want to stop there. You don't want further answers. So you're invoking childhood as a way of severing us from the possibility of answering, and that's what I object to, and that's what I find immature, and that's where I invoke the maturity idea because it's sort of, yeah, we have to do some of the hard work. I'm not saying, oh, you have to believe what you're told, and to a Christian you say, Christianity is obviously. I never said any dogma of mine or any other dogma that had to be accepted. I said the perceptions should be accepted, and we should believe what our perceptions have told us. And I don't believe that you go down to the side of the river and talk with the bridge maker, and that your perceptions come to you and tell you that you should not believe that he knows what he's doing. I believe when you go into those circumstances, if you do, you will find that a lot of people have knowledge worth respecting. And I believe in questioning authority, but as I said, to do so maturely means also listening for the answers. Oh, and another thing I was going to say is, yes, I do believe some ideas are more respectable than others. I know other people rank that respectability differently, but to me, all of these people saying how much they respect something doesn't mean there is no respectability, really. It means there's all different kinds of respectability. And I am getting defensive. The annoyance does come from a feeling that I need to defend, something I need to defend, and it comes from a sense of identity too, as you point out. So specifically, I want to defend the practical knowledge of mankind. Not all the dogmatic knowledge and spirits and gods and all of this stuff. Not the heuristics that we don't know why we even believe them. But the knowledge of how to accomplish things, that men and women know many, many things about how to accomplish things in the real world. And I want a system that respects that, and I'm going to defend that. And as far as my sense of identity, I've already said, yes, identity is somewhat arbitrary. I can put my identity in my body, I can put it in my just as in my conscious mind, I can put it in my family, in my community, I can do all of the above, more or less simultaneously. So that's what I'm defending, and it's, yes, it is, from putting my identity in the place of mankind and thinking from mankind's point of view, all the knowledge we have, including many, many things I don't know how to do. And yeah, I think that's worthy of a defense. Cheers.